think this is a special treat to get Tom Yancer to sit down and talk to us. This is one of the guys with one of the famous Yancer brothers, chassis builder extraordinaire. Built a lot of cool cars over the years. Been involved with racing. Truly made a lot of memories for people. Welcome, you're an Arizona drag racing legend. How does that feel?
Thank you, Chris. That's a great compliment. Love it.
Let's kind of get to know people who don't know you. Let's learn a little bit more about you. Where were you born?
I was born in Saginaw, Michigan.
Isn't there a song about that?
Yeah, yes, there is. Moved here in 1961.
So you were brought here?
Yep.
Your family relocated, or?
My father was killed, and my mother moved out here to get away from the family control back there.
I'm sorry to hear that, but
Yep.
a good new start, huh?
Yeah.
What a great place to be back then.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh start, and
Yep.
so you and your brother came out, and do you have any other siblings, or?
I have 3 brothers and 3 sisters.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. How long I known you, and I
Yep.
just know about the 2 of you.
Yep. Bud, Dave, Vicky, Julie, me, Susan, and Timmy.
So, how did you first get? What was your first remembering that like these cars are pretty cool? I think I want to do something, be around them.
Well, when I started high school, my brother's house where he was working on race cars was 2 blocks away from the high school, so I would walk over to my brother's shop after high school every day and work with him, and got involved with it that way. My father actually raced salt flat cars. He built his own salt flat car back in 1959, so
That's fantastic.
mhm.
So
So
it's
it's
in the
kind of in
blood.
the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The so your brother, is that where you learned your skills on welding? And
A whole lot of it, yes. He's a very smart individual. Yep.
I would say I don't think that any differently of you. So
Yep.
I've had good experiences with both of you over the years. What was your first car? I mean, when you said what was your high school car?
My first high school car
Right.
was a 1956 Chevrolet that I bought from Bud, my brother, that he used to race, and he actually won the 1972 AHRE Winter Nationals at Beeline with.
Wow.
I put a whole bunch of junk parts together and drove it for 3 years before I built a motor that had a lot of power.
Until you built the beast.
Yeah.
You went to, you said Carl Hayden or
I went to West High.
West High School? Okay.
Mhm.
And then so you grew up on the west side. So a lot of racers out in that part of town. And any other? I mean, your first racetrack you went to, the drag races. What'd you think when you first went out?
Well, I helped build a 1976 Chevy Vega with my brother and hounded him to let me make some runs in it, and made a pass in it first time at Beeline. No guardrails, you know how it was out there. No, you know.
Well, that was the utmost in safety back then.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was a lot safer without guardrails.
Just had a lot of dirt to run out
That's
into.
right. You wouldn't destroy the car.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience at actually driving. It was I got chastised by my brother pretty good for that one too, until he found out what the problem was, because I pulled second gear and the car got out of control, and I lifted on the throttle. The car didn't stop, slow down, so I reached up and shut off the ignition, got it back under control, and come to find out the throttle had stuck wide open.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was happy after that.
Hopefully you learned that wasn't a typical pass, right?
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. So you're able to do that. So you stayed involved. You built a killer engine for your Chevy.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? Did you ever take that car out and run it, or?
No, that was strictly a street car. Yep. My first car was a dragster I built for myself in, I'm going to say 1984. Built a dragster for myself, and then people loved it, so I started building them for everybody.
Well, you worked with your brother for quite a while,
Mm-hmm.
and the car we ran Comp Unlimited with, that you and your brother built that car for me for
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Right.
and it was a good car. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the car ran really, really well, and considering the parts we had in it and the money we had,
Right.
I think we were very successful.
Right.
Didn't win anything, but we set some records and had a good time with it.
Yep.
Your brother was a, you and your brother did exactly how I wanted the car built, and it made sense to me that when you decided to start building for other people, it made 100% sense to me because I knew the quality of stuff you guys were capable of putting out. And how many cars do you think you built during the time?
It's up in the hundreds. I didn't have serial numbers in the beginning, so I lost track of the beginning cars, but I started serializing them, and I can't even remember what year I did that. I'd have to go look at my records. But yeah, they up in the hundreds. Yep. And in 1994, I patented a suspension for dragsters, which started the four-link revolution in dragsters. So
I was going to ask you about that. That was something you actually you had a patent on, because I remember
yes,
that was a big deal and seemed to sell you a lot more cars.
yes. Mm-hmm.
I had. How did you come across it? What was the?
Well, I had several customers that wanted me to build cars that had suspension in them, because to make the cars work, dragsters work, you had to make them flexible. Well, when you make them flexible, they only last 2 or 3 years. For example, your car, you have to make them flexible so they work down. And so I was diagnosed with leukemia, and I had a friend set up a computer and put it in the hospital for me. And while I was in there, I fiddled with the AutoCAD and came up with the design. And we back half the car when I was in remission and got out of the hospital, and it worked very well. So the rest is history. I actually back half Jim Hughes's dragster, and I was mostly concerned about the lights. How would the car react because of the suspension? And the first 2 lights were red lights, 378 and a 378. So I knew I had it. It was there.
It worked.
Mm-hmm.
It did what you needed to do. It was consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the monoshock design? Or?
Yes, it was a single shock design that had some problems with it, like every new design does, and we fixed a lot of those design problems, and we ended up going to 2 shocks. So now all the dragsters have 2 shocks in them now.
You built a lot of cars, a lot of people, a lot of great success. Go back to the car, your car that you ran. What did you do? Tell us about that.
The first car?
Yes.
I didn't drive that very much, to be honest with you, but I borrowed, of all things, a Cleveland motor from a friend of mine and put it in the car because he wanted to see it run in a decent car. Not that his car was terrible, but it wasn't as nice as mine, and it ran faster, but then he wanted to make a pass in it on his own. So I let him drive it, and good thing I did, because he put all the pistons out of the motor on the ground. So
timing is everything.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I ended up selling it shortly thereafter because I was trying to start my business on my own. So
How many cars did you have? Other cars did you drive?
Well, I've driven probably 3 or 4 of my own dragsters. We actually got into the pro stock truck scene and built a pro stock truck. Weren't very successful with it, but it's an experience, and Bud and I had a lot of fun getting there and doing it, and learned a lot of stuff. But yeah, I actually won Arizona Super Comp Championship in 1997 with one of the dragsters. I've won with one of my dragsters. I run 2007 Winter Nationals. I've won 2 top dragster championships at Fontana. Not Fontana, yes, Fontana. So I've had my share of success. I like building the cars more so than the driving part of it. I like the family atmosphere out there. I like having barbecues after the end of the day and all that kind of stuff. So
that was your extended family out there.
Yes, definitely. I miss that a lot.
Your cars that they're all over the country.
Yes.
That's one thing about that's kind of, to me, it's a signal that the message got out. I'm sure that working with Jim Hughes helped a lot because he had a lot of influence, a lot of people. But other people that you build cars for, They had a lot of successes. They won a number of Wallies, and that's something you got to be very proud of. The unique design of the Yancer fenders, or the back half of the car. How'd that come about?
I had two customers in particular that kept haunting me about designing something to keep the car cleaner. One of them being Eddie Brown, he's since passed away, and the other one was Chuck Phelps, who's still around, but he's not doing well now. But so one day I just decided to try to build them, and I built an aluminum set of fenders and took them to actually a fiberglass shop that builds big huge tanks, and had them make a mold for them, and then the rest is history kind of thing, you know. And it's one of those items that people either love them or hate them. They think they're tractor pullers, or they love them because they keep the car so clean.
Well, they're definitely unique looking, and
Yes.
it identified your car so that right away. I don't know. I'm sure that it's possible that somebody can modify it for another car, but they're basically built for your cars.
In fact, I just sent a set out to a customer that has a 4-link car, and I had them made in 2 halves so he could fit them to the width of the car and do all of his own stuff.
So you've how's fast? What's your fastest pass on the track? You said race top dragster.
Top dragster, my quickest pass has been a 680 at a 196.
Very good.
Yep. Pro stock truck, we went 795 at 175, which is pretty good for a 200 or a 358 cubic inch naturally aspirated motor, but it's not quick enough when they're running 750s.
But you did it.
We did it.
People can talk about trying it, and you did it. And I think that's the spirit of a lot of the Arizona racers that we have here, is that the people that talk about it, the people that do it, and the success is you did it. You gotta be, there's bad day at drag strip's still a pretty good day compared to what other people go through.
Yes.
We get to go out and run things down the track and make a lot of noise and have a meal or a beer afterwards and enjoy ourselves, and then brag about how good we once were.
Right. It's almost like the fishing stories.
Exactly. So you're progressing your business, and then you're basically, did you sell off the chassis business, or part of the
I
business?
sold off the machine shop, the CNC machine shop
Okay.
part of the business, and I sold the building, and now I'm constructing and repairing and doing a lot of things out of the house. I still do some machine work, but my focus is on the race cars, the dragsters and the door cars.
How do people get a hold of you?
I have a website and just normal word of mouth. tyrc.com is my website,
Okay.
and then just word of mouth. So I don't have any problem staying busy.
No, I'm sure
I love it. It's
good people never do have a hard time staying busy. People will wait in line for you to get it right instead of, and I also know that you've done some pretty quick turnaround for people when they've really needed it, and your passion is there. Your brother Bud is a great guy. He was instrumental in back when we ran Comp Eliminator. He had a 331, that short block that we bought. Who would have thought it was just like, with that and the right side of cylinder has the right intake on that, we in an automatic we'd go out and set a record. But I was really proud to say that was a Yancer car.
Right.
That was really both you guys had involvement with that, and with Joe Faulkner was a big help with us. And,
Joe Faulkner.
and Billy Knobloch, and
Yep.
we just we had a great time. But I don't think any of it would have happened if you guys just didn't. Your work was meticulous and built the way we wanted. And it was definitely a flexi car, and fortunately we didn't put a ton of passes on it every year, so it lasted a while.
Right.
Sure, like to know what happened to it if anybody knows.
Yeah.
That'd be a great deal. So tell me about what else keeps you busy. What else
Well, my wife keeps me busy along with all of her animals. She's got 2 miniature donkeys that keep me busy building stalls, and
Is there 2 or 3 of them?
two
You're
miniature
not
donkeys.
considered one of them?
What's that?
You're not considered one of
Oh, well, that's a whole nother ass story.
But she has a passion for animals, and
I grew up on a small farm, so I had my fair share of it growing up.
right.
But I know how to do stuff, so she leans on me for that kind of stuff. But she takes care of them, and she's got 28 chickens and
Fresh eggs all the time.
fresh eggs all the time. Yep. Yeah, there's never a dull moment
Every
at my
once in a while,
place.
rotisserie chicken.
No, no, she won't do that.
She won't. She will not do that. Huh?
No,
Okay.
no, those
Yeah.
the eggs are fine. She doesn't even like eggs.
My wife, when they were young, they had a cow. They grew up in South Phoenix, and came time for the cow to go away. And I just think that you know, I don't. None of them want anything to do with that part. That was their pet. So
Right.
I don't know. Nobody knows what happened to it. It's a tough thing when you love animals so much.
As soon as you name them,
yeah, don't name them.
don't name
Now,
them.
that's the problem we've had in
Unless
our
it's-
family. We named our cars.
Right.
So they became a persona.
Right.
And then we couldn't sell the cars because that's such and such. You know?
Right.
Yeah, don't name stuff.
Right. As soon as you name it, you're done.
I'm glad that you did. I didn't realize you'd. Sorry, I don't remember that you'd had a bout with leukemia, and I'm so glad that you got through that. I know what that's like. I had a mild run-in myself, but nothing like where I was hospitalized and such. And I remember watching our friend John Mensler go through that, and it was
It's not
a
fun.
tough deal.
It's yeah, I've lost a lot of people to cancer here, especially recently. The older we get,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Well, they keep discovering things that cause cancer, you know. And what was the quip I heard is the latest thing to cause cancer is saliva, small amounts swallowed over a long period of time. We're all
Oh, right, right, right.
Gotta be careful, but I'm glad the Lord blessed us and blessed you to keep you around, because you definitely we're part of a lot of people's race cars. You're still out there doing things. I appreciate the fact that it's been years since I've had a chance to sit down and visit with you. You're still the same guy.
Yeah.
I
It's
really.
been a long time since I've been with you too. And I appreciate all your input and your help and whatever else you put into this.
Well, this is a great. We love doing the legend thing. And you have the legendary spot in a lot of people's hearts and minds for your design, your stick to it attitude, and always developing new things. And I think anytime you can be a trendsetter or you can develop things to make it better, it's something always a good memory to have.
Mhm.
And you did very well at that.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, let's go racing sometime. Let's get out and go racing. Okay.
I just bought my super gas roadster back from a customer of mine. And I bought my pro stock truck back about 7 years ago, put an LS twin turbo motor in it, but I haven't had the time or the crew to help me do that.
Well,
So it's sitting in my trailer.
we need to get you out there.
Yeah, I need to get back out there.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Thank you so much for being here today.
Mhm.
Tom Yancer, definitely an Arizona drag racing legend. Thanks for all you've done for the sport. Thanks for just being the good guy that you are.
I appreciate it. Thank you.